We'll put him down. Yep. So we have 2 counters. Right. So I'm gonna mystical. No. I'm gonna negate. And he can do one thing, but I have mystical dispute. Yeah. Alright, so that's how you play multiple counters each turn. He did that to me. It's only fair I did it back to him, right? Yeah, that's looking good from this angle. Hello everyone, it's the Grey Goose, and today on our random green Friday deck, Friday the 13th, we ended up rolling Simic. And since I haven't done a Simic Flash variant before, I decided to go to the dark side and give it a whirl. It's a popular archetype now anyways. It is strong. We saw it in the most recent Mythic Championship as the most prevalent type deck there, I think, because they suspected there wasn't going to be much aggro because of all the sacrifice and food decks basically shutting down hard mono color low to the ground aggro type decks. But now that we're out of the Mythic Championship, we're back on just arena standard rank ladder. You do see some aggro out there, some low to the ground, like you see some Rakdos Knights and such, but you still will see the slower combo-y decks, sacrifice, or for example in this video I went up against a Dimir Control. I don't know why there's a Dimir Control, but you'll see the power of a Simic Flash type deck against a slower opponent in the gameplay here. But let me just quick give you a rundown of the deck and then we'll get straight into the gameplay. So for our creatures, we have a couple Hydroid Krasis. These guys are just your, as the game gets later, massive value. So even if potentially they get countered, you end up getting card advantage. You get life if you've been beat down already quite a bit. And if you get him on the board, he's a great flyer, blocker, trample body. You have 3 of Paradise Druid. These guys just help fix your colors. They give you a little bit of ramp. 2/1 for a 2 CMC, not too terrible. You have 2 of Brazen Borrower. These guys are kind of a utility card. They can bounce something that's really clutch at a certain time, or you could just flash in at an end step, a 3/1 flyer to start whittling down some damage. Frilled Mystic. I think this deck couldn't be possible without Frilled Mystic. It is that powerful. For an uncommon, it's insane. 2 green, 2 blue for a flash counter spell card attached to a 3/2 creature body is very powerful, and it's where the massive swings start happening in the deck against your opponent. They'll play something massive, you simply counter it. Oh, and you're starting to do 3 damage each turn. It's insane. Nightpack Ambusher. This guy is like your bread and your butter for your damage over time. He's your main body that you would want to protect if you get him on the board. He's a 4/4, so he's got good stats. He spits out 2/2 wolves that get +1/+1 thanks to him. So in a flash deck, it's kind of easy to not play cards on your turn. You can play it at your end step. You can play it at their upkeep or any other time on their turn, and then you just get to keep creating these 3/3s every turn, which slowly will take over the board and ensure you a win by himself if you protect him long enough. You have 4 of Nissa. Nissa is really great, obviously, for 5 CMC, gets a 3/3 body on the board immediately, can start doing damage with Vigilance, and it allows all of your forests to double tap. So it's just a ramp insane, especially if you combo that with like a Hydroid Krasis. The value just quickly goes through the roof, and you're generally okay to win if you can pull that off. There's quite a bit of instants in this deck, as you might expect. It's a flash deck, instant speed deck. 2 of Aether Gust. This is in response to there being a lot of the Gruul type colors out there. Also, the green ones obviously work on a lot of your creatures. You could bounce back a Krasis or a Nissa, your Nightpack Ambusher, etc. Or anything red also of your opponent. Fires of Invention, anything of that nature. 4 of Growth Spiral. You need a little bit of a ramp. You need a little bit of a card draw. This is at instant speed, so this just fits into, well, not to. 1 of negate. This is just your clutch non-creature spell for cheap, instant. 3 of quench. Quench hits everything, and especially in the early game, opponents are usually not able to pay the 2 mana to push through the quench. And also, when you're bullying your opponent with all these counters, they're behind anyway, so they're grasping to get anything to resolve. So they'll try and put out a spell just hoping it'll work, and then you just barely quench them out. Like, it's very powerful for 2 CMC. 2 of Mystical Dispute. You go up against quite a few other blue decks out there, and that's where these really shine. If you end up game 1 realizing your opponent doesn't play blue at all, you might sideboard these out, but otherwise they're very solid. They hit everything. Your opponent has to pay 3, but when you only have to pay 1 blue for it, the value is insane. 3 of Sinister Sabotage. This is really good because it hits anything and they can't pay their way out of it, and it lets you surveil, so it's your most powerful counter besides Frilled Mystic. For lands, we just have your basic Simic package, including 2 of Castle Vantress, with sometimes you holding back all your cards to counter your opponent and they don't end up playing anything that you're able to counter that you think is worth countering. Sometimes you're left holding up all this mana, and that's where Vantress really shines. You just get to scry up for your next turn at the end step of your opponents. So for sideboard, we have 1 more Hydroid Krasis. We have 1 more Aether Gust. We have 2 more Mystical Disputes, and these really shine against any deck where you're going against a blue opponent in any way. I suggest you sideboard them in. You have 1 more of Negate. This is against your control-esque opponents that you're going to be going up against. Anyone who's using a lot of instants or sorceries, or even potentially enchantments such as Fires of Invention or Witch's Oven. You have 1 Crushing Canopy. This is good because it hits at instant speed and enchantment. So once again, Fires of Inventions, Witch's Oven, Trail of Crumbs, etc. 1 of Kenrith's Transformation. This is good if you have to neuter a certain big creature your opponent has. For example, you go up against a Rakdos Knights, which happens to throw in a Rotting Regisaur that you're afraid of Embercleave. Well, you can make him a 3/3 instead of a 7/6, so that's a lot better. Plus you get to draw a card, all for just 2 CMC. It's really good. 4 of Lovestruck Beast. If you're going against some form of aggro, this is really good to get those 5/5 blockers on the board. Plus, in a mirror match, it's also fairly good as well because much of their power comes from Frilled Mystic and Nightpack Ambusher, which are 3 and 4 power respectively. Your Lovestruck Beast can block those all day. And last but not least, 2 of Sorceress Spyglass. This is good against control matchups where certain Planeswalkers come into play, or certain activated abilities such as the Witch's Oven you can call out, or like a Wicked Wolf you could call. Overall, I think Simic Flash is deserving of how popular in the meta because of how powerful it is. However, I would say there's definitely a learning curve. You have to learn when to counter is the most important thing. What you need to counter versus when you need to hold back. As you'll see in my game 1, I thought I made a correct call, which turned out not to be. So it takes experience with playing the deck, because a lot of your success or fail is on those crucial counter moments, and it rests just entirely on that, and you have to live with the consequences. And if you want to see a random daily deck tech video, consider liking or subscribing to the channel. I make a video every day. Catch you guys tomorrow. Alright, Simic Flash versus Ryan 2323. Good smattering of green and blue and draw and ramp counters. Looks good to me. Put this one down first. We don't know what we're playing against yet. Something to be said potentially for having shocked that out to have a blue up, but I don't know. We'll see. Ooh, yep, we search for a blue. Dimir. Can you say thought erasure? So far, the Aether Gust seems like it's going to be potentially useless here. Maybe he will counter this. Alright, so we just ramped up. Yes, we did. Alright, so we're gonna start getting rid of lands here. Go for green. We have a Nissa. And we're gonna wait. We're gonna see what he does. So, how much you want to bet he has some counters? Ready? Let's hope he blows a ton of mana on doing it, though. That's kind of spooky. Don't have another one. Alright, good. We're just gonna... maybe I should have breeding pooled. That's fine. Whatever. Worst they can do... Well, they have black. They're not Simic. Well, that stinks. Alright, so what do we want to do here? Smash first. Get maximum value. Alright, 10 to 14. Get another land on the board. And then we'll end turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this actually looks good to quench. Yeah. And a blue. I really don't want him drawing cards. So he could have a super powerful card here, kind of knowing I'm tapped out. Ritual of Suit. Oh, Lily. Nice. Very nice. Well, that sucks. Yeah, I should have held it back. Chemist's Insight with the jump start. He gets to cast it again anyways. Oh, I really feel like that not what he should have picked there. Question is, how do I respond, right? 2, 3, 4, 5, put him down, and then I have 2 smashing into Lily. And then I could still Mystical Dispute something if it's blue. So yeah, he's just gonna chump block for days if I don't. Let me get the Nissa down. I feel like I have to. There's Nissa. And so yeah, technically this will let me Mystical Dispute anything, but if it's cheap enough it won't matter, right? So he's gonna chump block with 1 to draw a card, because he's down to 2. But he's gonna take 3 damage. Alright. Let's see what happens. So they have 3, 6 mana, 7. Yeah, that's kind of the perfect perfect storm, so to say. But we're not totally out here. We're just basically out. This is gonna have to work extra hard. Yep. So yeah, we're just gonna concede on this. Let's go again. Don't need Aether Gust. Alright, so we're on the play here. We got some Quench, Growth, Spiral, Frilled Mystic. Those cards seem pretty good. You know that he's putting in more stuff to combat my counters and such. Well, I put more in myself, so we'll see where it leads. I'll put an island in here in case I draw a Sinister Sabotage anytime soon with the double blue ready. So he's going to be looking to do Duresses, Thought Erasures, things of that nature. Since he has access to black, they're the best, like, disruption color pair. Chalked it in, Thought Erasure. Yep. So, nope. There we go, we got another one. I like it a lot. So we just see what he has. Another Thought Erasure, most likely. If not, we're okay. Get the draw, get the land out. Yeah. Alright, so we have some good plays here. Don't care about his opt. Save it for his big plays, aka Lily, Ritual of Suit. It's just pure Dimir Control. Cool, he's got 4. flash that in, but he's gonna have what? Murderous Rider, counter. Okay. So he's up to 5 mana. That's a good one. And that's a good one. Wow. Okay. So he just burned 3 of his counters. There it is. Okay. So he burned 3 counters in the past turn and a half. That's really good. Problem is, if he puts a land down in like a lily, okay, well, he didn't. The 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. Okay. He still doesn't know what I'm holding on to, but yeah. He just got rid of all 3 counters here in the past 2 turns, so that's pretty scary on him. He's got to be drying up on them, and I don't have much of a threat back here. 1 Frilled Mystic is not much of a threat. No. So he's all tapped out. All tapped out, and would you look at that?
I will protect the virtue of this world.
Alright, so now we're pushing some damage. The problem is we're wide open. Ritual Suit, blah blah blah. I guess the ritual wouldn't kill the frilled. Probably has other answers though. Alright, well we're doing 6 each turn and he's down to 8. I'm gonna hold this back to kind of bluff. See what he ends up doing here. I mean, that buys him a very, very, very small amount of time. Mystical Dispute, Fabled. Neither of those are gonna help right here. That's gonna help. Yes, it is. So he gets 1 more turn. And this is looking like a Ritual of Suit. You ready? That costs him 4. He'll only have 1 up left. So Mystical Dispute saves him. Or like a Quench now, I guess. Nope, Quench wouldn't. So he's going all in with the Ritual Suit here, probably. Or single target removal, I guess. No. So the problem becomes if he counters this, right? Alright. We win. So overall, that seemed okay. I don't want to sideboard in any low to the ground creatures. Ritual Suit was just too massive if I don't have a counter ready. So I'm keeping my bigger ones. Frilled Mystic, Night Pack Ambusher. I still have yet to draw a Krasis and get him off to get value. Alright, so we're on the draw. We have a Scry here. He mulled down to 6. We have some low to the ground counters. I'm gonna keep. If he shocks in a Duress, that'd be pretty bad. But other than that, we're looking okay. So yeah, I'm gonna Scry hard for a land. Yep, that'll work. I don't care if it's slow right now. So if he shocks in for a Thought Erasure, he doesn't have to shock it, I guess. The question becomes, there is a Mystical Dispute, so I can slow play this, and it's a land, cool. A slow land again, because we don't have any actual islands down. I'm gonna go ahead and, with both a quench and a negate, potentially the Mystical Dispute, I'm okay to slow land this in so I can have an instant turn 4 next turn, or a CMC 4. So he's waiting on me to make the first move too, which is fine. Since I have this, I can play it as end step, and if he does something about it, he's all tapped out. And you know he's gonna. He's too afraid to play anything here. Alright, so I hold back. I don't want to, but I'm gonna. Paradise Druid. He's gonna do some sort of counter here. I'm just blowing his counter is all. No? Okay. So what's he got? He's gonna have 5, maybe 6 mana. So here is where... Yeah. So this might get rid of two of his spells, which I'm okay with. I'm really okay with that. With 2 Night Pack Ambusher, I'm totally fine with that. He's gonna have to cast one more thing. Yep. I mean, I hate when he always has 2 up no matter what I do. I hate that. If I draw a land, it's definitely Krasis. If he doesn't take it away. He's probably, I don't know. Yeah, he could be worried about the ambushers. They do the most damage over time here. Yeah, we're definitely doing this. 2, 4, 6. That's a 4/4. So I drew 2 cards, no matter what. Counter it if you want, bud. It's all about card advantage right now. He could Lily next turn, and that would kind of, you know, mess us up pretty good. But I have such a nice amount of cards here that I think I can handle it even. Oh yeah, we're doing okay here. So 4, 5, 6, 7. We're gonna hold back. He's got to be scared now. He knows I have the Night Pack. 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright. We'll put him down. Yep. So we have 2 counters. Right. So I'm gonna mystical. No. I'm gonna negate. And he can do one thing, but I have Mystical Dispute. Yeah. Alright, so that's how you play multiple counters each turn. He did that to me. It's only fair I did it back to him, right? Yeah, that's looking good from this angle. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Do I need to keep 7? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I do. So I'm just gonna hold back on the Paradise Druid. Since he only has 1 card, I'm not too scared, but I don't have to. I don't have to attack just yet. He can opt for whatever he wants. I have so much counter here that I think we shut him out. No. No, no, no. Let's go ahead and do this. I like to keep a Sinister Sabotage up because that hits everything. Negates only versus non-creature spells. So here if he tries to counter, I have another one though. Alright,